the new firm since their great days of the mid-80s. United, 15 matches unbeaten, would certainly start favourites today against an Aberdeen side with only one win in their last 15. The Pittodrie highlights are described by Jock Brown.
Aberdeen manager Roy Aitken makes one change from the side which drew with Rangers 2 weeks ago. Paul Bernard is injured, but Dean Windass is back. Sanko Svedinov is available but left on the bench, and others not considered because of suspension or injury are Billy Dodds, Duncan Shearer, John Ingalls and Ilian Kiriakov. But it's a third consecutive start for 19-year-old Jamie Buchan, the son of the former Aberdeen and Manchester United captain Martin Buchan. The versatile youngster, who has played at fullback and in midfield, forced that uncharacteristic error from Andy Gorham to give him his first goal for the club in his last outing. And it's no surprise to find Dundee United unchanged after their triumph at Ibrox on Wednesday. Dave Bowman continues in the number 2 jersey, with the former Aberdeen midfield player Ray McKinnon still affected by injury. The Scotland manager Craig Brown is here and will undoubtedly be very interested in the form of Stephen Presley with the 2 World Cup qualifiers coming up. Presley served his time with the under-21 squad, and if he's considered for a senior call-up, a lot of credit will be due to Maurice Malpass, whose own form at centre-back beside Presley may even make him a candidate to add to his 55 Scotland caps. The referee is Glasgow solicitor Jim Herold from Newton Mearns. So it's Aberdeen with only one victory in their last 15 games, taking on Dundee United, who have won 13 out of the last 15. So the form very much indicating that United are the team who should be hot favourites in this match, but Aberdeen have a point to prove after a 4-0 drubbing on their day at Tannadice, and almost a goal right at the start. It's a corner kick to Aberdeen. Dean Windass in the thick of the action right away. That ball angled across there, deflected on. Windass didn't get quite a good enough touch on that. Windass again. A second corner kick for Aberdeen. It came off Zetterlund. Well, a very fast start from Aberdeen, trying to win the favour of their supporters early on. Dykstra committed for that. Zetterlund, who was in his way. This is Joe Miller. Dykstra's block, and Buchan miscues the left foot shot to take the pressure off United. Oh, what a start this is from Aberdeen. Stephen Glass with that corner kick, which Dykstra came for. You see Zetterlund in his way there, colliding with him. He couldn't hold it, the keeper, but he still stood up to this very good effort from Joe Miller to make the block with his legs. Craig Brown there beside Alex Smith, the former Aberdeen manager, on the stand. A lot of players to interest the Scotland manager this afternoon. An Aberdeen free kick taken quickly by Glass. There was an offside flag up, but the ball was still moving and the free kick will be retaken. That's really a break for Aberdeen. Wari flights it in, and again Dykstra comes to collect. Ryan Irvin now a long race back here as Winter sprints forward against Combwari, who did just enough there. Well, appeals there for the United fans for a pass back by Combwari. Referee Herold not interested. Well, Combwari was put under pressure here by the presence there of Winter. He did play the ball back, but that surely was not a deliberate pass back. Roy Aitken with Tommy Craig on the Aberdeen bench. Interception by Pedersen, that's Olofsson. Stan McLaren, support play from Mark Perry in the right back position. McLaren forcing Woodcock to hurry. Former Norwich City defender makes a good challenge and now has to face this throw. Dolan. McLaren. As for Perry, it's a great ball in, and Winters couldn't get up enough for that. Few inches too high for Robbie Winters, who found space in the box. Well, it's a great ball that from McLaren to the byline for Mark Perry to go charging forward. It's a very good pullback. Winters not quite tall enough. Zetterlund down to Winters. Very good quick turn that by Winters, attacking the Aberdeen defence. Supported there by Zetterlund. Here's Winters again. That'll be a throw to Dundee United. So Perry and Zetterlund are in the box now for this. Zetterlund let that go deliberately. There's Jamie Dolan. Good effort from Dolan, not renowned as a goal scorer. Still to open his United account. But did well with this. You'll see Zetterlund let this go quite deliberately in the end, I think. Realised he couldn't get much on that. One touch to control it, and then a snapshot there from Dolan. Rowson well forward this time, couldn't get enough on that pass. Mal pass to Dolan. Dolan goes in strongly, and he's held the ball in there. That's why the free kick's been given. Well, Bowman not happy. Dolan at full stretch get the first touch, then Bowman went in very strongly. Then the ball was locked in there by Bowman's knee. Windass, I think, can we attempt a direct strike and goal? Fine save by Dijkstra. The big keeper at full stretch there for that. It's a very good attempt by Windass. Look at this, with pace and swerve right towards the corner. The keeper did well. That's Presley with a header. Dolan teeing that up for Rowson. Break on here, Windass looking for Glass, is very quick. That's a terrific tackle by Perry. Outstanding defending by Mark Perry. Comboire with a header. He's retrieved his own clearance. Clumsy challenge by Malpass on Booth. Free kick to Aberdeen. Boy, Aiken not happy with that. That's towards the referee, I think, that little volley. Well, this is a terrific piece of defending. Look at Mark Perry going in there. Glass is so quick. Well, Perry's played in every match for Dundee this season except one when he was substitute. Gordon Wallace having a little discussion with the manager. Malpass again, early to the ball. Here's Joe Miller. Running into Zetterlund. Winters. He's seen very little of the ball in the match so far. Closely marked, especially by Brian Irvin. This is Miller, back towards Windass. Booth trying to turn, the penalty's given. The challenge by Perry on Booth. Looks as though the referee's suggesting there may have been some jersey holding inside the box there. Perry looks on in some kind of disbelief. But it's a golden opportunity here for Aberdeen. Well, Aberdeen have been attacking well in the match. Windass involved in this build-up with Joe Miller. The ball played back to Windass. Now, as the ball came in here, there's the challenge. The referee was right. There was a bit of jersey holding. Perry on Booth. So Windass has scored the only penalty he's taken this season for Aberdeen. No mistake from Windass. Aberdeen go ahead. The 34th minute of the match. And Dean Windass gets his 16th goal of the season. Dijkstra was left with no chance. Well, Dijkstra left helpless by the power and the accuracy there from Windass. Well, you can tell his reaction to that opening goal. So United go behind. They haven't experienced too much of that in their great run this season. But Aberdeen really have played well in the match, and they cannot begrudge that lead. United showing very little in the attacking sense in the match so far. Aberdeen carrying a greater threat. Foul by Windass on Pedersen. Tony McLean looks on. I wonder what's going through his mind at this stage, but he can't be happy. Bucket playing it long for Booth. He's onside. Looking for support inside from Glass. What a chance for Aberdeen. What a difference that might have made right on half-time. And Dundee United on the counter-attack too. This could be doubly punishing for Aberdeen. Here's Dolan. Ricochet. Carrying the ball to Michael Watt, and an injury to the Aberdeen player who made the block there. They really should have gone two in front. The ball played over the top there for Booth, who was onside, in behind Maurice Malpass. He knew that Glass was in the middle. It's a perfect ball for Stephen Glass on his left foot, his better side, and what a disappointing finish. Well, Roy Aitken, I'm sure, will be very upset about that, because 2-0 at half-time would have been a very difficult lead to pull back. Here's Russell Anderson now. Windass showing himself well. That was for Booth to chase, but Pedersen was alive to the problem, resisting the temptation to have a pass back, and the half-time whistle goes. Aberdeen in the lead deservedly with a goal which arrived in 34 minutes. It was Dean Windass who scored the goal. He was fighting both the build-up, which resulted in a penalty kick which he drilled home in 34 minutes. The error was made in defence by Mark Perry, doing a bit of jersey holding on Scott Booth to concede the penalty kick. It's a lead which Aberdeen richly deserve at this stage, and Tommy McLean will have a lot of reorganisation to do during the interval. It's Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 0. No change in personnel for the start of the second half, although I suspect there may well be some tactical alterations, perhaps on both sides, because they will be anticipating each other's moves. It really is becoming more and more like a game of chess. Top-class football these days. There's Windass towards Booth. Shooting chance on perhaps. Presley running with him right across the penalty box. It was very good defending. Not such a good clearance though. Keeps the pressure on with Joe Miller. Faced by Bowman. Miller did well. That's Booth. Came off Malpass to Buchan. Good block inside the box. What a fast start from Aberdeen again. Olofsson couldn't get to that, but some very good play again from Aberdeen. On the left-hand side, Joe Miller did so well to get the cross in here. It came off Maurice Malpass, broke out to Jamie Buchan on the volley. It was a splendid effort. Malpass and Windass in a battle there. It's getting nasty. Well, both players reacting quickly enough to understand that they were about to get involved in a flare-up, and Dean Windass is going to be in trouble. Maurice Malpass is pleading his case there, in fact, but there's no question that it was an angry reaction initially, but then Windass realised what he was doing and tried to back out of it. Got a lot of help from Maurice Malpass. There's the ball breaking. Now the challenge begins. The wrestling is going on here between the two players. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Then Windass lashes out there. This could be serious for him if the referee saw it that way. The yellow card it is. Well, a bit of relief for Dean Windass. Maurice Malpass deserves great credit for trying to defuse that. Malpass judged that well against Windass. Off goes Olofsson. He's quick enough to get there ahead of the keeper. A chance for Dundee United. And a great tackle by Russell Anderson. Magnificent defending by Anderson, but what a miss by Olofsson. It's their first clear look-at goal in the match, Dundee United. Created by Jamie Dolan's pass through the middle. Olofsson's pace. He got away from Michael Watt. Thought he'd all the time in the world, but Anderson got back to make that superb tackle. Well, I can tell you, the Dundee United bench was absolutely furious there with Shell Olofsson. And little wonder. But in by McLaren. Presley penalised for his foul on Irvine. Well, Dundee United finding the going very tough indeed. Look at this chance here for Olofsson. Away from Comboire, away from Michael Watt. All the time they wanted to just knock that in the net. But he wanted to walk it in, Olofsson. It's a fourth league match of the season between the two clubs. The first won by 1-0 at Tannadice by United. Then a 3-3 draw here at Pittodrie. And then a 4-0 victory for United on their day at Tannadice. Robbie Winter, Shell Olofsson and Stephen Presley all contributing 2 goals in these 3 matches. Here's Presley, scored twice in the 4-0 victory at Tannadice. McLaren's cross, and it's headed away by Woodthorpe. Presley was up with the attack there. McLaren checking inside now from the left. Stephen Presley was the player up with the attack, couldn't quite get to that. McLaren's corner, met there by Irvin. Dolan beaten by Windass. Here's Malpass picking out McLaren early. Faced by Glass. Well, Stephen Glass did well there. Matched McLaren right to the byline, left them with no space at all. Splits back to the outside left position. McLaren. Alex Smith exchanging something of some humour with his Scotland manager Craig Brown. It's Olofsson again. Back with Zetterlund. Dolan reacted well, being hounded by 3 Aberdeen players. He's back in possession, Dolan. The pass came from Presley. Well, Dolan shooting for a goal again as Presley went charging through the inside left channel. Tommy McLean showing his frustration there. Well, Jamie Dolan has many qualities, but one of them is not good goal scoring. That was fine play to take the ball out of that danger area, then take the pass back from Presley. Presley now starts to charge forward to Dolan's left. He was in an open position when that shot was attempted. Glass away from Dolan. Forward comes Buchan. Dykstra well out of his area. Well, that's great goalkeeping by Dykstra. Terrific interception. They're going collected in more orthodox fashion now, but getting huge applause there from the Dundee United supporters. It was a rescue job, all right, that by Dykstra. The pass from Stephen Glass. I'm not sure whether he meant to find Scott Booth, but it certainly ran very kindly for Jamie Buchan. But a very good bit of defending there by Dykstra. Good challenge made by Rowson on Johnson. It's one for Booth to chase. Pedersen getting there first. Well, it's now out for a corner kick. Pedersen complaining bitterly about that. Well, he's been in trouble for that kind of behaviour before at Dunfermline, I remember, when he was ordered off. A very softly conceded corner kick in the end by Pedersen. Very well won at the near post there by Johnson. Here's Winters. Over the far side, Olofsson's in space. United countering superbly. McLaren waits in the middle. So does Presley. United at their lethal best until the finish. Oh, what a counter-attack this was. Robbie Winters opening the play out here. Olofsson charging forward here in space. Looked up to see the support he had inside. Missed out the first man, who was McLaren. Looked for Presley. What a chance it was. Disappointment for Stephen Presley. Now pass lofting it forward. That's Anderson's headed clearance. Up goes Pedersen, belying his lack of inches. Zetterlund did well. Still in possession. That's for Olofsson. Chance here for Olofsson. Still at one run. It has run. It's gone in. What a contrast. Olofsson equalises. Well, he missed an absolute sitter early in the second half through his own casualness. This time he gets a vital break, but Zetterlund did the hard work. Look at his awareness there, the vision for the pass. The first touch not perfect. Michael Watt down bravely, came off Kumwari, and then Olofsson, and Dundee United have equalised. Look at the play here of Zetterlund. This is magnificent, the way he looks up to spot Olofsson. That first touch wasn't very good, but he got a touch in the ball before Michael Watt. Then Kumwari playing against the Swedish striker. Disappointment for Aberdeen. And Roy Aitken, I'm sure, cannot believe that. Windass with the challenge. And backing in there by Windass, a free kick it is to Dundee United. There's the, well, it looked like a push by Zetterlund more than a backing in by Windass there, I must say. Malpass nodding the ball away there to the corner flag with a throw to Aberdeen. Quarter an hour remaining. Will Aberdeen have the kind of resilience required to win this match all over again? Here's Jamie Buchan. There's cross. Ambitious one by Booth. It'll be retrieved by Glass. Been shown inside by Bowman. His weaker side, but he's determined to go outside, and that's good play by Glass. And a superb block by Dykstra. Could so easily have been surprised there at the near post to keep up. But it's terrific play by Stephen Glass. Dykstra denied him there with a great save. Gomwari thumps it forward again. It's won by Malpass for McLaren. And there's no time for a counter-attack. The final whistle goes. Dundee United have kept this unbeaten run intact thanks to a goal in the second half, which is credited to Shell Olofsson. Dean Windass gave Aberdeen the lead in 34 minutes from the penalty spot and played well overall for Aberdeen, who dominated the first half. Should have been 2 up at that stage. Tommy McLean making for the tunnel area. There was some bad feeling between the two benches, but it seems to have been calmed down now. But the man of the moment in managerial terms, Tommy McLean, goes to a 16-match unbeaten run, and it's thanks to Shell Olofsson, whose persistence in the end got that equaliser in 68 minutes. But United getting a point from a performance which was less than up to normal standard. Aberdeen showing a lot of healthy signs in their performance. Should certainly have had the game won in the first half, but in the end have to settle for a point. It's Aberdeen 1, Dundee United 1.
Roy, is that a match you to get a point?
I was happy with the second half performance. I thought the first half reaction to Wednesday night, where basically there was a lot of mental and physical fatigue sort of showed in the team there today. But the second half I thought we performed a lot better, had the better chances. But I think overall the draw was a fair reflection. But if anything, I thought we could capable of winning it in the second half.
Is there some temptation or some difficult management decision to take here? You've got a team that's settled well, going very well indeed. It's perhaps playing a lot of matches and needing freshened. Is that a dilemma you have?
It's one that we've got to monitor, but really I think in terms of the week that we've had, you look at the cup quarter-finals are always nervy occasions, and then you go to Ibrox, which was a high-profile match, and then we come to a derby here. So it's been a very, very heavy week for these lads, but I don't think tiredness, especially to the Scottish-based players, what we've got ahead of us, anybody that's tired at this stage shouldn't be a professional footballer, but the foreign players, we've got to ensure that they're rested up during the week.
And there's where the draw leaves the two clubs tonight. Dundee United still comfortably in third place and sure of at least a UEFA Cup place. Now, John, you watched the game coming in this afternoon. What were your thoughts?
Well, I thought it was a decent game without being a great game. I thought Tommy was right that United started a bit flat, but Aberdeen really pressed very well. First half, the young lads looked eager, worked really hard. But I thought a draw was a fair result. Both managers were reasonably happy with it, and they got a little nark at each other going up the tunnel there. So having worked with them both, they'll both be quite happy with that, I think.
Now, we talked last week about the terrific pace of Dundee United breaking from deep, and that was very much a factor again today, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. First half, the way Dundee United play, they sit in a lot and then they hit you in the break, and they've got 3 of the quickest players in the Premier League. Olofsson's deceptively quick. He's a big, powerful lad. Once he gets in his stride, he's really quick, and Winters and McLaren are exceptionally fast. So a couple of times today they broke from Aberdeen's corners and created real problems, especially in the second half.
Yeah. It seems that every match we cover these days there's a penalty award or refusal to discuss. Another one today. What about this one? Bit soft?
I thought it was a little bit soft. Scott Booth's I thought he lost control of it, and Mark Perry, I thought, had an excellent game up until then. Pulled him down. He sort of wrestled him to the ground. You don't get them very often, but we're seeing more and more of them given, and I think highlighting them on TV is putting a lot of pressures on referees. So And then Dean Windass sticks it away well and pleases his boot sponsor by doing some kind of dance line on the floor. I don't know what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, not sure about the celebration at all. Now, what about the misses? There were a couple of really bad ones today, one by either club. Stephen Glass, firstly.
Yeah, well, I'm quite an authority on misses, so I can talk from a little bit of experience. Scott Booth did really well there, but it's one of the misses that players in their careers look back on and don't like to see too often, so we'll show it a couple of times. Scott Booth did really well. It was on Stephen Glass's good side, and he really should have scored. And that would have been a game finished 2-0 to Aberdeen just before half time. And the way United were looking very flat and looking a wee bit tired from Wednesday night, I think that would have been game finished.
Yeah. Now, Stephen Pressley, again, we talked last week in the cup tie about the great runs that he's making and the number of times he's getting into dangerous areas. He did it again today, but his finish left a bit to be desired, didn't it?
Yeah, there's Stephen Pressley playing very well at the moment. I think United are starting from a really strong base at the back with Matt Perry and Morris Malpass, but Stephen Pressley's making tremendous runs. Tom McLean in his training, even at Tynecastle, does a lot of functions to promote people from the back to the front, and obviously Stephen Pressley's responded to that very well.
That's right. Big Shell Olofsson, of course, must have thought he only had to roll the ball over the line for a goal for United, but all credit to Russell Anderson.
Yeah, he did terrifically well. Olofsson does really well, but I think he thinks that everybody's giving up the ghost and he's just going to walk it in. And Russell Anderson does really well. I suppose an older head would have just chucked it there, but the pictures of the youth he chased back. It's a terrific tackle because even at that stage there was a chance of him giving away a penalty and possibly being ordered off. But it's a great tackle to save a goal. Yeah.
So and we talked about Presley, of course. But was this just a case of a defender finding himself where he's not used to finding himself?
No, I don't think so. I think any professional footballer in there should score, and he's got to be judged on that. But it's a great run. I think, to be fair to him, he was just stretching a bit, and he had made about a 100-yard run to get there. So I think he can be excused a little bit. But it's great work from Robbie Winters and then Olofsson. But that came from an Aberdeen corner, and they broke so quickly. And it was a real long busting run from Presley, and it just bounces right in front of the one's footballer set. But I think he'll probably look at back at that and think he maybe should have scored.
Absolutely. And when United did score, it was a bizarre goal, you'd have to say, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a good passing movement. They had 14 passes, half of them from Aberdeen players. They kept getting a ricochet, and it was a little bit of bagatelle. But Olofsson did really well to get in there, and then he gets a lucky break. But 16 matches without being beat, you can't be lucky all the time. But in that instance, they got 2 or 3 good breaks. But you've still got to be there to score them, and I thought it made the result right and proper at the end of the day. Kumwari very unlucky. He was just trying to do what a defender should do and try to get out of the area.
So 1 each. We know all about United, of course, but briefly, signs of hope for Aberdeen?
Yeah, I think they've steadied the ship in the last couple of weeks. Roy's using this season, as he said, there to try and blood his youngsters. He's started to get rid of a lot of his older players. Whether that's the right decision will be proven in the long term. But he had 4 youngsters in there today, and I thought Russell Anderson did very well, and Buchan did very well again today, and Stephen Glass showed some form coming back from his injury that we haven't seen for a little while, and the signs were very encouraging. I thought he had a great game today.
Yeah, and that will certainly impress Craig Brown if he's there today, of course.